Please put your hands together for the chocolate men, Jacob Joy from Jakobi Chocolatier, Tarak Bhattacharya from Manpower Donuts, and Dr. Arun Viswanathan, our own homegrown entrepreneur, founder of Chitra'm Chocolates.
Thanks for that. So good afternoon, everyone. We have 10 minutes?
You have 18 minutes.
Okay. So we earlier had half an hour. We are now at 18 minutes. So whatever I've prepared, I've just thrown it out of the window. So we had a discussion before this, and what we decided that we'll just keep it as an interactive conversation, talking about our stories, and whatever insights you can get from our stories, great. And we are here to answer your questions probably after that. What I would do is just take you through your stories first. So I think it's very important for us to understand, because I've got two gentlemen here, one who's living his dream and one who's living someone else's dream. So he's an entrepreneur who started out with this chocolate brand, and he's a professional who's living someone else's dream in the form of donuts. But today he calls it its own. So it's very different, but I would love to hear your story first of how you got here, because it's a very interesting story, and about you, about how from Cornell you've come to Coimbatore and started chocolate.
So hi, good afternoon everybody. Thank you for helping me come here. My name is Tarak Bhattacharya. I am the ED and CEO of Moderator Donuts. What started as a hobby by my founder became a nice story about a business. So he wanted a franchise of Chitra'm many years back. And that didn't happen to him, because an entrepreneur getting a Chitra'm was not so easy many years back. So he thought that why not start a donut company? So he started strong. He started with one store in Delhi and then went to Bombay. And that is where he saw that at Breach Candy store, people were queuing up to have donuts, which was surprising for him, because in Delhi it didn't start well. We did a lot of sampling. I think in the morning also Sagar said that sampling is a key for any kind of QSR business. He kept on doing it, didn't get result. But when he saw a lot of queues outside the Breach Candy store in Bombay, he thought that there is something in this business. So from a hobby which changed into a great business, today I think it's a more than 100 crore business to us with few cities and 160 stores. So we have got there now soon. If not soon, in the last 13, 14 years now. But that's the history of the brand. We are now, somebody was talking about physical stores and cloud kitchens, so we are existing in both. I think phygital is the way forward, if you ask me, as a business. That's the story about us.
Thanks, Tarak. Arun, Dr. Arun, if I may say.
So it's been 13 years in the chocolate industry. It started when I was in New York. Coincidentally, I had an opportunity to visit Hershey's chocolate factory, then the New York Chocolate Show. Got back, completed my other masters in Coimbatore, decided to get into dairy industry, probiotics, and then Belgium came calling. So I decided chocolate chose me rather than I'm choosing chocolate, so went ahead with it. 2015, I started a brand with my mother called Ganache. So it was into filled chocolates, corporate gifting of chocolates, and so on. And it was running well. It was like I was the single person making chocolates, selling chocolates, doing absolutely fine, because I was doing what I wanted to do, making good money. But then at some stage you want to do more. So I went back to US, got into bean-to-bar chocolates, where you start learning about farmers and how cacao manufacturing is done. So then got back, decided to start a cafe. So from day one I was clear, like the previous speaker said, I wanted to make sure to fuel my passion, which is going to be the face of me. I had other opportunities and money-making businesses. So I was into corporate gifting, B2B. We started taking up caterings, a lot of other avenues which we started doing, along with a cafe to fuel the chocolate brands. So while the cafe was getting ready, it was called Cafe Infusions. It took almost a year to function. At that point, it was me and my mother who had started the business together. And before the launch of Infusion, she passed away. So during post that, I wanted to do something as a tribute to her. That's when the brand called Chitra'm came up. Her name was Chitra. I started the brand called Chitra'm. So Chitra'm, it was started with just 6 flavors of chocolate, celebrating what I studied as an agriculturist from the Agri University was chocolates with moringa, chocolates with palm sugar, alternate sugars, and turmeric, pepper, and all ingredients which was underutilized 10 years back. So when we started that, within the next few months, we ended up winning the chocolate awards internationally, and we had no clue how to go about it. Because it was like, for the credibility factor, the store, the cafe was what we wanted to focus on, and this was growing beyond our means. So in 2019, we again won an award internationally, and post that, we were unsure how to expand, what to do beyond that. COVID came, kind of helped us stabilize. During that time, I did a lot of consumer analysis studies and the PhD program where I understood the bean-to-bar market across the country. So 23, we did a repackaging of the chocolates after understanding what our consumers wanted and all that. And 24, we won another international chocolate award. And right now, for Chitra'm, we are going to start our first physical store in Coimbatore and start our expansion. Yep.
Thank you so much, Arun. So though we may look the same, so you have Tarak here who's looking at expansion, and you need number of stores, you need volumes coming in. And here you have Arun who actually has to have the staying power, has to showcase a brand which is not going to grow as fast as probably a donut brand. But both require very different strategies. You expanding across the country, number of stores, you getting your brand into people's heads. And delivering across. So could you take us through what you're going through today as you expand into number of stores? And after that, you could probably tell us into what is the noise that you're facing today? Because as a chocolatier, everyone tells you to do everything. And how do you remain focused on what you have to do or what you've set out to do? So if you could have that conversation, it would be really...
See, for us, I think opening stores is given. Unless you don't open store, it doesn't make a great business model, actually. So we got the business model right. Unless you don't open stores, you will not be able to make money. And although we are not into selling, we don't have investors on the board, we don't have shark tanks on head. So we're still well placed at this point of time as a business. But the whole idea is that it gets a little difficult when you're expanding so vigorously in terms of people, I think, and the real estate. These are the 2 biggest challenges which we face when we go and start opening stores on a massive way. So these are the 2 challenges we are facing at this point of time, getting the right kind of people. Even after training, they don't stay back. The right real estate at the right cost, so that the rent to revenue ratio gets into the right fitment of the model. These are the 2 biggest challenges we have. Although as a business, I think we'll have to keep on expanding. Then only you'll get the right kind of clientele, the consumption increases, your category, which is right now between a niche and the staple segment, gets into a staple segment that the consumption increases, the business size increases, and we can make a lot of people more happy.
Yes, thank you so much, Arun.
So for me, it was like, it is a big shift from what it was before COVID. Someone during COVID phase told me, before that I wanted to do everything. Like I wanted to run a cafe. I wanted to have 3-4 brands under me, which is like one is doing cafe, one is the chocolates, so that I'm able to make money as well as continue what I wanted to do. A few years back, post-COVID, and the e-commerce set off and we started selling more, one of our clients told us, like, feed our ego. I'm a client who can afford to spend $1 lakh on you per year. We love your products. If you are able to find clients like me across the country, for a bar you sell at 295 rupees. If you are able to sell 10,000 to 20,000 bar, the first phase of your income is clear and you just need 3-4 people to work with you. You already have established a brand. You have a brand and the market is also going. So that's one. And then you can also do all the other things which you want to do or decide not to. Last 2-3 years, I could sense the shift in terms of the market. I could see we were doing extremely well in terms of the bar sales. The chocolate market, as you know better, has improved a lot with the current scenario, and people understood that what good chocolate is and all that. So now we have come to the understanding that, like we are talking in the morning, a single product can be the focus of your store. And if you are able to expand it right, and like the previous speaker said, if you are able to focus on, stringent measures to actually have good staff, work with less people, avoid wastages, find good, easy rental spaces, and actually have other avenues of income you're able to sustain during the period of sustenance, and then you can start your expansion quite easily.
So if I heard you rightly, so you're focusing on donuts and you're saying this is my main bread and butter. There's a lot of noise about I should do brownies, I should do coffee, I should do, but I stick to brownies. And you've said, listen, there are 101 things I can do, but my core is bean to bar. I will establish myself in getting better bean to bar chocolates and improve probably the flavor profile of what we're doing. As startups in business, and we've gone through it, we hear a lot of noise about why you need multiple options so that your business can move forward. And all three of us in our journey have realized that we've gone through that, and then we've come back to the core of what we want or we set out to do. How was this decision taken? Because it's not something which you can explain, you have to live through it. But today, I'm sure you know more about what you say no to rather than what you say yes to. So could you, for the purpose of startup entrepreneurs here, give that thought process about how do you realize what is the no and what is the yes?
So I think in any kind of business, if you know that, for example, our core is donuts, sometimes you have to delete a lot of stuff from your life, including whatever we want to do as an entrepreneur. So I would not say we burned our hands, but I think we realized that some things which was not complementing to our donuts was giving a very small kind of sale. It was there in the menu, it was there on the shelf. Once in a while people used to come in, there were a lot of wastages with that. But then we realized that our hero is our donut. So let's stick to that. And we deleted a lot of stuff from the menu. And we realized that since we were doing donuts as a core competency, we were successful in that and we could make a market out of that. So sometimes I think a lot of people will give you expertise, a lot of people will tell you, do this, do that, because this is the in thing. But I think you need to stick to your this thing and have patience. I'm sure that patience will give you a lot of results.
I think this one we spoke in the morning about it, right? So you are in this industry for a reason. And initially it is difficult. You need to make sure you are sustaining. For the last 8 to 10 years, my idea was to make sure from day one we are not losing money, which I successfully managed to. It's an industry where e-commerce works, you have B2B orders, so much happens behind the scenes that so a lot of times we don't realize we are making good money. The thing is, at what point are you compromising on what you want to do at the end of the day? So that came in the last few months. Like we said, a few years back, Indian market did not support a single product brand. I don't think he would have imagined 160 outlets for donuts in 2010 or 2015. So today we are in a spot where the market is accepting such products and people appreciate specialization, and also people appreciate people who are from a certain background who are able to make a product. Like he's a donut person. We are chocolate people. So if you are able to talk chocolate, do a lot of workshops, interact with customers, and especially with social media platform, there is a lot of ways you can grow in this industry. As I said, the last few years we have realized Coimbatore is not my market. Tamil Nadu is not my market. The country and across the globe I'm able to sell today. So now it's like finding a lakh people to sell a single bar through the year is very easy for me. And when you are priced well and you are having good measures to make sure you know your profits, it's definitely easy to sustain.
So technology has actually changed the way we do business, right? Technology and logistics has suddenly made the world our marketplace. We are able to produce in one place and sell elsewhere. Earlier, this couldn't be done. We needed a factory close to where we were selling. But to take that story a little more, I think today a lot of talk is about mindful eating. People are saying sugar is bad for you. People are saying cocoa is good for you. And so every time someone says something is bad for you, they eat nothing of it. And every time someone says it's good for you, they eat too much of it. Both have its pluses and minuses. So particularly in the donut, I know it's sugar and a lot of it is, how do you go through this phase of mindful eating and gluten and sugars and I don't know, there's so much happening. So you're actually fighting a battle which is everyone wants to eat it, but someone is telling you not to eat it. So how do you go through this?
Yeah, I get this question almost every day, I think. Why do I eat sugar? You have so much of calories in the whole thing. I just tell them that, listen, when you're indulging, don't count your calories. Just have it. And trust me, what you just said about sugar, fattening, calories. Frankly speaking, in this country, it's a myth. Huh? People still have it, right? Yeah. So there's something called cheat day. I don't know why. How can you have a cheat day? Come on, guys. But there's a cheat day. You can have a lot of calories in one day. There's a lot of proteins which happen suddenly in one day. It's called each of the day is defined by like that. Come on, yaar, if you're into health, just don't eat it. Yeah, it's okay. I can have other consumers consuming me. So that's okay for me. But however, given a choice also and the style, we are also getting into the phase of R&D where I'm exploring gluten-free donuts, sugar-free donuts. I don't know why, but I'm still trying it.
You saw his face when he said gluten-free donuts and sugar-free donuts?
Yeah, but we are trying because maybe there could be a segment. I don't know. It will be the same thing which I said that let's delete. Yeah. This could be the deletion, but maybe it's there. It's a fad. People want to see it that way. But still have their double trouble in my store. I know the same people.
So I have this conversation with people who tell me I want sugar-free chocolate, and I ask them how much chocolate do you eat in a day or in a month. And they say, I have a small piece. And I say, how does it matter whether you're having sugar-free or with sugar or palm sugar? And he says, no, I've been told sugar is bad for health. And then you're sitting with him and he's having coffee. And he puts 3 sachets of sugar into the coffee. And so this is the market. So why I'm telling you this is perception is something where people talk a lot about stuff. And then they come to you and they ask you for a product. So today as chocolatists, we are wondering, do we need to get there or are people just talking about it? And this is a challenge which all of us are facing. Absolutely. And I'm sure you're facing it on a day-to-day basis because chocolate is seen to be healthy as a dark chocolate. But then when I jokingly tell people, if you talk about a 70% dark chocolate, it's 70% cocoa and 30% sugar. So what are you talking health? But could you kind of elaborate on that?
First thing, the dark chocolate myth. You have to consume, by studies, 30 to 40 grams of dark chocolate, pure dark chocolate, 70% and above per day, over a period of time to actually have any benefits. Okay. The article headline we read is dark chocolate is good for health. So it's still sugar. Even any palm sugar, coconut sugar, when people come to me, say alternate sugar chocolates you make, it's healthy, right? I say I only sell chocolates, I'm not selling a health product. And I also have some clients with a cafe. So I have to deal with 2 markets. We had a client once a few years back. I go there, I was talking about how health is important with chocolates and all those things. And he said, I'm here to indulge. Don't create a phobia for me that I don't want to come back. And then there was another client like you, you mentioned. So he said, chocolate is unhealthy and all that. And I asked him, like, what was your lunch? He said, chicken biryani. And I'm not very comfortable with chocolates because it's unhealthy. The point is what chocolate, how much sugar, and all those things are important. But again, comes to the same point. How much chocolate are you consuming every day is the most important part to consider it healthy or not healthy. And for how much we actually eat, it doesn't matter at all. I don't think it's a problem.
So why I asked this question is actually about the purpose of why we start a company, right? So he started out to make chocolate, which is his passion and all. And both of us were just talking to each other and said, a brand is a reflection of the person who started it. And we were talking about our brands more and more. And he said, are you this kind of person? I said, yes. I said, how do you know? He said, because you're talking about that in your brand. And the same thing happened. And with Tarak also, see, the purpose is very clear. He said, I'm here for indulgence. So many times what happens, and this is the noise we spoke about, right? We are trying to create indulgence moments. We know how much a person eats. And then suddenly someone comes and tells you this is not healthy. And you say, not in that industry at all. I'm here for you to indulge.
And I don't claim to be in that industry.
So exactly this. So your R&D is more about how do you make your product tastier.
Absolutely.
And not healthier.
More engaging.
And more engaging.
More differential. More international, more like I think it's all about the business actually. I don't claim to be healthy, but nor do I say that, listen, don't come to us. Please do come. You'll enjoy that part of happiness.
So which is your favorite product in your...
I have my sugar glazed donut.
Okay. And how about you? Which is your favorite product in your...
So recently we have made a product called Sakara Pongal chocolate, which is with camphor infusion and flavor, aroma infusion and all that. So I think that's a bestseller right now, and that's my favorite. It's kind of like become like our identity right now. So it's a
Perfect. So we had 30 minutes and we're now to 18 minutes, but I'll just go 1 minute overboard. And if any of you have questions, because I had a whole iPad full of questions, which I just kept there. I've not even opened it. But if any of you have questions on probably the purpose of why we are doing what we're doing or anything, I don't know. Either we've explained something or we've not. So, but we have a question there. Yes. Yeah, we can hear you.
So I own a cafe called Coimbatore in Coimbatore, and one of the things that we do best is hot chocolate. But sometimes it's very difficult to try and make customers understand the difference between culture chocolate and regular chocolate. So now it's very easy for people to name anything as a Belgian chocolate or a 55% dark, and you can just name any random chocolate that, and people are ready to buy it. Until it tastes good and things like that. So as a chocolate brand yourself, how do you create the awareness among your customers that your chocolate is what you're trying to sell and nothing pretentious? And this might help a lot of other people that are trying to sell good quality chocolate-based products just like us.
When I came back to India from Belgium, the first thing I was told, my first order was a pink colored chocolate with bubblegum flavor. I said, after coming back, I want to do like no colors, no flavors. I want to make chocolates which is pure and all that. Right. This was in 2014. Yeah. The core is not more, today we are discussing the same thing, more players in the market helps. Like the monopolized space is sometimes the problem because like now today, Manam Chocolates, Paul and Mike, and all of them have come and they have started promoting how chocolate is being made, what is actual chocolate and all that. Smaller players from smaller cities especially are able to move with them and able to make a better market there. So that's one thing. Secondary, I think social media really helps now. And if we are not utilizing social media to actually create awareness on what we are trying to sell, that's a core important part. 7 years back when we started Infusions, I had to attend to every customer to tell them the difference between the chocolate we are making and the chocolate they are taking elsewhere, why the price is different and everything. Today, a customer comes to me and says, I don't want that, they don't know the difference between compound or a pure. They probably ask me a question like, on the cocoa butter chocolate, or no vegetable fat chocolate, or that's the kind of questions people are asking. Awareness and changes are there, but it's taking a lot of time. And I think, especially in a city like Coimbatore, more people should collectively work in creating this awareness, which I think is the need right now.
So the thing is, is you need to be a good storyteller. So your brand, you need to tell your story. But you're also very well placed today where your competitor is telling others your story. And this is a great place to be because the market is developing in such a way, particularly in chocolate, where everyone is talking about what a good chocolate is and what a bad chocolate is. If you're in the good space, someone else is talking for you already. So you just need to piggy bank on that. I think we've really run out of time. Thank you so much, Arun and Tarak.
Thank you. Pleasure.
I think we had a longer conversation when we were discussing outside.
Yeah.
And we were joking and said we should have just recorded this and shown it to everyone. That would have been far more engaging. But thank you so much, Ranjan and team TiE Coimbatore for having us here. And thank you
so much for having us.
Thank you so much, Jacob. The moral of the story is chocolate is good for health, but you have to have it every day. May I request Ms. Dilnawaz, charter member from TiE Coimbatore, to kindly hand over a token of our love to our panelists. The next panel is going to speak about the National Restaurant Association of India. May I request the four panelists, Sagar Daryani, NRA President, Prakul Kumar, NRA Secretary General, Shakir Haq, CEO of NKP Empire Ventures, and Gaurav Dingra from Roll Baby Roll to kindly join us on the stage for the next panel discussion.
You ready? I'm ready.